All right, today we're going to shrink ourselves down, way, way down, to meet the tiny, tiny engines that power, well, everything, from the cells inside our bodies to the food on our tables. Get ready, we're diving into the incredible, super fast world of enzymes.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? You eat a sandwich, right? And somehow that bread, that cheese, that meat, it all becomes energy, muscle, and everything else that keeps you going. How on earth does that happen? It's not magic, but what's going on behind the scenes is just as amazing.
Well, the answer is enzymes. These are the unsung heroes, the microscopic workers that make life possible. And when I say fast, I mean unbelievably efficient. A single enzyme molecule can kick off thousands of chemical reactions every single second. Without them, digesting that sandwich would literally take decades. Life as we know it would just grind to a halt. So let's meet a few members of his microscopic team, shall we? We're going to look at what they do, where they come from, and why they're so ridiculously important. First up on the crew is a real specialist. Let's start with diastase. Think of this one as the starch specialist. If your body has a big carb-heavy project, this is the enzyme you call. Its entire job is laser-focused on one thing: breaking down those complex starches into simpler sugars your body can actually use for fuel. So here's a quick look at its profile. It's this yellowish-white stuff, has a faint, kind of distinct smell. And check out how it behaves with liquids. It mixes with water to make this cool, gel-like solution, but the moment you add alcohol, poof, it separates right out. A neat little party trick. So where do you even find this specialist? Well, surprise, it's working inside you right now. You probably know it by its other name, amylase. It's in your saliva, kicking off the digestive process the second you take a bite of food. But it's also out in the plant world, famously in germinating barley grains, which is a big hint about its other major job outside our bodies. Its main role is what we call a digestant. Medically, that means it can help people who have a tough time breaking down starches. And commercially, it's used to create pre-digested foods. Basically, it does the first critical step of digestion for you before the food even gets to your plate. Okay, so if diastase is the specialist with one specific tool, then our next worker, pancreatin, is the general contractor. This one is a digestive powerhouse. It's a true multi-tool, built to break down a whole meal. Let's pull up the ID card for pancreatin. See how it's white, not yellowish like diastase? It also dissolves in water, but stands its ground against stuff like alcohol and ether. And these simple little properties, they're actually key to how scientists can isolate it and put it to work. And just like its name suggests, pancreatin comes from the pancreas. Specifically, it's extracted from animals like hogs or oxen. It's a really powerful example of how we can source these vital biological tools to help improve human health. And this is why we call it a powerhouse. Pancreatin isn't just one enzyme. It's a whole cocktail of them. It's got amylase to handle starches, just like diastase, but it also brings in lipase to break down fats and proteases to tackle proteins. It's the whole digestive Swiss Army knife in one package. Because it's so versatile, pancreatin's job description is way broader. It's a critical treatment for people whose pancreas doesn't produce enough of its own enzymes, a condition you see in diseases like cystic fibrosis. It's pretty much the ultimate digestive aid for a complex meal. Okay, let's put them head to head for a second. On one side, you have diastase, the specialist. It's one mission: demolish starch. On the other side, pancreatin, the powerhouse, which comes ready to break down the big three: starches, fats, and proteins. One is a precision scalpel, the other is a Swiss Army knife. Both super useful, but for very different jobs. Now, for our final worker, we're going to step outside the human body entirely. This one is actually a living organism, a tiny single-celled fungus whose work has given us everything from bread to beer for millennia. Let's talk about yeast, the fermentation force.
Yeah, we all know this one by its more common names, right? Baker's yeast, brewer's yeast. It's that whitish powder with that very distinct earthy smell and a slightly bitter taste. For thousands of years, humans have been harnessing the tireless work of this tiny organism. But here's the thing about yeast. It's more than just one substance. It's a whole nutritional package. It contains fats, proteins, a fantastic array of B vitamins, and, crucially for its job, it holds its own team of powerful enzymes inside, like zymase and invertase.
So here's how it works. It's actually really simple. You give yeast some sugar, its internal enzymes get to work, consuming that sugar, and as a byproduct, they release two things we find very useful: alcohol and carbon dioxide. This simple, ancient process is the entire foundation of the brewing and winemaking industries. So you can see yeast wears a few different hats. Its primary industrial job is, of course, making alcoholic beverages. But because it's so packed with nutrients, it's also cultivated and used as a fantastic source of protein and vitamins for nutritional supplements. So, from the diastase in your saliva to the pancreatin in your gut and the yeast in your kitchen, it's clear these microscopic workers are absolutely everywhere, performing essential tasks that, let's be honest, we often take completely for granted. So, what are the big takeaways here? First, enzymes are the essential workers of biology, speeding up life's most important reactions at an incredible rate. Second, they can be specialists, like diastase, or generalists, like pancreatin. And finally, their impact is huge, powering not just our bodies, but entire industries. And this really just scratches the surface of this unseen world. It leaves you with a question to think about. What other microscopic workers are out there, right now, quietly shaping our world, our food, and our health, without us even knowing they exist?